What is up, Wretched Nation? Today we're going to change the oil in the Road Glide. It's been needing to get done. We're finally going to do it. I think I can get away with doing it without a jack. The rear suspension is raised up an inch, so I think we can get away with that. We're going to see. But we went ahead and started the bike, let it run for a little bit, probably a couple minutes. Just to get the oil flowing and warmed up a little bit. It's been sitting for a few days. It is very muggy and the humidity has got to be at like 99%. It's sprinkling on and off, but it is hot, just humidity wise. The sun's behind the clouds, so at least it's not beaming down on us, but it is kind of warm out here. But I'm gonna change the oil. It's not gonna be a how-to video. It's just really something we got to do, get the oil changed. And we are going to take it for a little test ride and an update on the tour pack. We tried to do that earlier today and there's some issues with it. Some issues that are their fault and issues that are my fault. So not going to get into it, but there is progress being made. This tour pack is probably going to be a total of a 4-month deal from order to installation, which is insane. But the next video that comes out about it is going to be a complete from us putting it together to installing it and checking it out. So whenever that gets done, that video will be released. But I want to give you guys a little bit of an update. And we might check out the Dyna today as well. But let's get into the Road Glide. Just a little pro tip. We're going to take the dipsticks for the engine and transmission loose and pop them open just a little bit so you can get some air in there. And it will funnel out the oil at the bottom a lot faster. Alright, looking at the oil, I'm pretty happy with what I saw. I am changing the oil on this bike a little early as far as the trans and primary goes. I'm changing my oil, all 3 holes on this bike, every 5,000 miles. And I'm running synthetic. The primary and the transmission is usually done every like 10,000, but given the issue that these bikes have with oil transfer and the crankcase pressure, I'm just not going to take any risk. It's $100 every 5,000 miles, do it myself. I'm just going to do that. I mean, why take the risk? Knowing that these bikes have a bit of an issue, I'm just going to keep the oil changed. The transmission oil looked perfect, so I'm going to spend, what, $8, $9 on a bottle of that? Why not? The engine oil looked pretty good. I'm happy with that. I think we've done probably about 5,500 miles. So that's in good shape. We'll button this up and then do the primary. All right, guys, well, we just finished up the oil change. I just got back from a little test ride to get it all warmed up. Check the oil, check the fluid level, and we're pretty much perfect. So we're good to go on that. I did change the primary and the oil filter. Didn't really see much of a reason to film that. The one tip I will give you, if you're doing this yourself, if you're doing it without the bike being raised up, you probably need a little 2x4 or something to put up on that back tire, to just pull up on that 2x4, and you'll get just enough height clearance to get a standard drain pan under it. You can get some low profile ones, but the key is to have somebody help you for the primary, because you're not going to be able to get all the oil you need into the primary without it trying to spill out, unless you have somebody stand the bike up. It really needs to be upright. So I just had it all ready to go, had everything drained, and right before I put oil in it, I had the wife come hold the bike straight up for me, filled the primary up, put the cover back on, tighten everything down, and I was good to go. It really isn't that hard. I would like to get a lift in a shop one day, but it's not that big of a deal. As long as you got an extra set of hands, it's not that bad. But we're good to go on this. I need to check out that Dyna. All right, we got the Dyna. That left shock is still not wanting to be adjusted. The 2 rings are pretty froze to each other. So what I'm gonna really have to do is just get a friend to help me. The wife's probably not gonna wanna do that. We're gonna have to hold both of those spanner wrenches and maybe hit both of them at the same time in opposite directions, try to break them loose. I don't know, but I'm gonna need a hand on that. So striking out on that. If you didn't watch the last video, the left shock, the adjustment spring, the collars are frozen. I've been putting some PB Blaster and stuff on it, but it's just a pain in the ass, and those stock spanner wrenches, they just suck. So this is a drag specialty set of shocks. Maybe I just need some Legends, I don't know. But let's start the bike up and see how we do with that oil light. And I'm gonna have the camera pretty close to the top end, so maybe if there's any valve train noise you can hear it. I don't know, that light went out right away. It acted exactly how it should. It's been a week since it's been started. I guess I can't complain there. It was kind of low on oil. That still leaves me to believe that that oil pump is probably going out. That'd be my guess. But to see that light not stay on, that's a good sign. But I'm pretty sure we need to start packing back some money and maybe get some parts in for the motor. My biggest problem is it would be easy to do 110 kit with 585 cams. That's pretty standard. I kind of want to go above and beyond that cam size just because the 585 is pretty standard, being able to use the stock heads. But if I go to a bigger cam, I definitely am not going to be able to put a bigger cam in this and do it like one piece at a time. And if I go to a bigger cam like that, then I'll need different heads. So that's going to set me back a pretty penny. I really need to do some research and just see, you know, what's the dollar amount, what's the horsepower amount, is it really worth how far to go? That's just a personal decision. I got to figure that out. If you have an opinion, drop a comment down below. I'm thinking of going with a pretty aggressive cam and the 110 kit. 585 wouldn't be bad. This is the SNS part number. That wouldn't be bad, but I don't know. I would like to be a little bit bigger and different than what the standard 110 kit is. But let me know. But we got the two bikes pretty much ready to roll. I was a little disappointed on that tour pack, but we're just gonna keep waiting and figure that out one day. I appreciate you guys hanging out, and please hit that like button, comment, subscribe if you haven't subscribed. We have passed 250 subscribers. That's pretty cool. I think we're at 262 as I'm filming this. So I appreciate every single one of you guys. Thanks for hanging out and watching us. But as always, keep it wretched.